the walls, but the so-called Korea University is located thousands of kilometers from Pyongyang in the leafy suburbs of the Japanese capital. It's the only such campus located outside the borders of the dictatorship and was set up to accommodate the hundreds of thousands of Japanese citizens with links to the reclusive state. Over the past few months, our team of correspondents have spent time with the students in a bid to explore the paradox of living in one country but pledging allegiance to another. This is their report.
The school year got off to a tense start in Japan. Around 6,000 demonstrators gathered in the center of Tokyo to protest the exclusion of certain high schools from a national tuition waiver program. All of the excluded schools have historical ties to North Korea, and the people connected to them are enthusiastic supporters of the government in Pyongyang.
We gathered today to say in unison no to this outright discrimination, to our exclusion, and to the deprivation of our rights.
Japanese ultra-nationalists gathered alongside the road to shout their hatred toward the demonstrators, who they consider to be enemies of the nation.
If you don't want to be treated differently, leave Japan and go back to North Korea.
It's difficult to pin down an exact number, but experts estimate about 150,000 Japanese residents are supporters of the North Korean government. Their families came from the Korean peninsula to Japan, either voluntarily or as forced labor, when Korea was a Japanese colony prior to 1945. Their presence in Japan has given rise to a handful of pro-North Korean schools and even one university.
As everyone knows, this university is the only North Korean university based abroad.
The flag of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, North Korea's official name, flutters above the recreation ground at this Tokyo University. Educators here aim to imbue the 700 students with what they view as North Korean values.
Here is a good place to film, don't you think? Since this building was funded by the President Kim Il-sung, on the roof it is written, "Long lives great leader Kim Il-sung."
Just as in North Korea, portraits of the country's deceased leaders, Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, are everywhere, in each classroom and in the dorms.
We're 2 students living here, but 4 junior students are to arrive soon.
The students like eating potato chips and using their brand new mobile phones, luxuries that most North Koreans rarely, if ever, enjoy. The students were all born in Japan and have permanent residency here, but they nonetheless say their hearts are with North Korea. Some recall going to the north for an internship and catching a glimpse of the country's latest Kim family ruler.
I had only seen Kim Jong-un in the news. He was like some distant entity to me. So I was very surprised when I saw him. I have no words to express how I felt. I was so moved I just clapped my hands.
The young ladies speak Japanese as their native language, but they have studied Korean from a very young age. Still, when they arrived in Pyongyang, they had to improve their accent before being able to teach in a North Korean kindergarten.
We were able to understand what the children said, but the children had trouble understanding us. When we practiced our pronunciation, it got better.
Korea University is frequently accused of acting as a shill for the North Korean government, whitewashing its repeated nuclear weapons tests and severe human rights abuses. Critics say its curriculum is often anti-Japanese. An end-of-the-year performance dramatizes the oppression Koreans suffered at the hands of the Japanese during the colonial era.
In Japan, a lot of people have the wrong idea about us. They think just because we are teaching our students about the colonial period in Korea, that we are teaching them to be anti-Japanese.
Most of these students are bound to teach in North Korean schools or to become executives of Jong-un, an organization in Japan representing North Korean interests. They will play a key role in perpetuating a North Korean network in Japan, not just of schools, but also banks, insurance providers, and other organizations. But these days, more and more young people feel the need to distance themselves from this community, sometimes even renouncing their Korean citizenship.
I thought about changing citizenship. Some of my relatives have done so. This country does not recognize North Korea. However, we do. And we think holding on to DPRK citizenship is the right thing to do. We can get freedom only when we're changing citizenship. This is very humiliating. If we change nationality, it means we renounce our ideas.
North Korean schools in Japan receive about $2 million a year from Pyongyang, but reduced subsidies to schools all over Japan and changing generational priorities mean these schools and Korea University are losing students every year.
That special report there from our correspondents in Japan.